A big explosion shook one of the Ayaka islands, making the nearby town burst into flames. Jingi quickly grabbed Yukito and joined the other townsfolk who were evacuating. Inu, the town's mayor, tried hard to keep everyone in line while they desperately tried to get on the ferries. Worried about his seniors Ibuki and Haruaki, Jingi rushed over to the mayor, but the mayor assured him that their teacher Yanagi had gone to find them.
Mr. Yanagi went after them.
Master?
That's right.
The mayor already understood the terrible consequences if Yanagi didn't come back. This remark makes Yukito appear worried. Meanwhile, the master stands at the spot where the big explosion happened, surrounded by flowing lava. He confronts a huge fiery creature called Ara Mitama and realizes that this is his final task based on its high threat level. At the same time, Ibuki and an injured Haruaki manage to escape to a nearby island. Ibuki wakes up and calls out to him, but Haruaki's injuries are serious. Back at sea, the residents finish evacuating and watch with puzzled expressions as their homes undergo changes. A couple of years pass, and Yukito now lives on the mainland in a foster home. One night, he receives a letter from someone named Anu, who informs him that they will take care of him after he finishes middle school. Since Yukito left the island when he was young, he doesn't have many strong memories of that time. As a result, he doesn't remember Anu, who claims to be a friend of his late father. Feeling tired, Yukito decides to go to sleep. In his recurring dream, he finds himself underwater, all alone. Strangely, it feels strangely good, even though he usually avoids getting close to people. Suddenly, a hand appears and pulls him out of the water, causing him to wake up. His eyes glow with a deep ocean blue, and the water in a nearby bottle starts moving violently. Confused, Yukito sits up, wondering what's happening. Finally, the day of his graduation arrives. After the farewell ceremony, his classmates chat with each other for the last time. However, Yukito gets ready to leave. While staying at the foster home, Yukito encountered only kind people, and there were no issues of mistreatment. His thoughts were interrupted when he noticed the students' attention drawn towards an unfamiliar person at the front of the school. Yukito saw it was Jingi, who had already consumed a few drinks.
Yeah, you're drunk.
Don't be shy. It's time to live it up. Thirsty?
I think you've got the wrong person.
Nah?
Yukito didn't recognize this rowdy individual and tried to act as if he mistook him for someone else. However, Jingi recognized Yukito and commented on his growth. Yukito chose to ignore him and kept walking, but the stranger continued to follow to prove his identity. Jingi pushed Yukito off a bridge, causing Yukito's powers to activate as he fell into the water. However, Jingi used a technique to prevent the powers from fully manifesting, surprising Yukito. Now having Yukito's attention, Jingi used another technique that allowed his bag to envelop him. When Yukito regained consciousness, he found himself on a boat heading to the Ayaka Islands. The boat driver mentioned Jinji's reputation for eccentric behavior. The rowdy guy informed Yukito that his belongings would be sent to his foster home later. To Yukito's surprise, Jingi retrieved Yukito's belongings from his magical bag. At this point, Yukito was confused about the situation. Jingi expressed astonishment that Anu hadn't informed Yukito about their world and introduced himself as an older brother figure. Jingi revealed that Yukito's father was his master and had acted as a father figure to him. Their conversation was interrupted by the sound of a honking sea train, grabbing Yukito's attention. The sea train served as the main transportation connecting the islands. They continued their journey until they reached their destination, where they were greeted by Momoko. Momoko noted how much Yukito had grown and disclosed being the landlord of his childhood home. She mentioned that they used to live together like a family. Inu also introduced himself and explained his role on the island. During the car ride home, they hoped that Jingi hadn't bothered Yukito too much along the way. While traveling, Yukito admired the beauty of their surroundings. Momoko shared some information about the area. Suddenly, Yukito's attention was caught by a floating object called Mitama. After a short drive, they arrived at their new home, and Yukito expressed his gratitude for their hospitality. Noticing a picture of himself with his dad and others, Yukito started doubting if the man in the picture was his biological father. Momoko entered the room with tea and praised Yukito's father as an amazing laymaster. Jingi chimed in, mentioning that they too possessed unique abilities and were part of this group. Yukito exposed Jingi by recounting an incident when he was stuffed into Jinji's magical bag. Momoko became annoyed with Jingi, but the transportation worker tried to calm her down, explaining that it was all part of a playful game. Anu changed the topic, revealing that Jingi was Yanagi's third student. Jingi feels offended by the comparison to his seniors and argues that their advantage comes from being older. He mentions that Yukito relies on brute force due to a lack of fundamental skills. Momoko believes Yukito's Navi heritage must have gifted him exceptional talent. Yukito admits his lack of knowledge about his father's involvement and feels saddened when his mother is brought up. They explain that his father never spoke of her. Inu reveals that Yukito's father wanted him to grow up away from the Ayaka Islands. Anu apologizes and explains that his father's instructions serve a greater purpose. Yukito settles into his room and encounters a harmless Mitama. Jingi enters and explains their presence all over the island. Yukito warns Jingi not to invade his privacy, suspecting his distant nature may explain his indifference to living arrangements. Yukito reveals his past struggle with controlling his powers and how it led him to distance himself from others. Feeling ignored by Jingi during a vulnerable moment, Yukito gets frustrated and leaves. During a nighttime walk, Yukito faces a harmful Aramitama, but Jingi comes to his rescue. Jingi demonstrates his lay mastery by deflecting the Aramitama's attacks with a powerful network gathered in his hand. Impressed, Yukito admires Jingi's skills. However, the Aramitama reforms and Jingi throws Yukito into its watery section. Yukito unleashes his power, causing the water demon to explode. Jingi comments on Yukito's brute force, while Yukito is amazed that Jingi could stop his attack. Jingi attributes Yukito's fear of his powers to a lack of control. He suggests that if Yukito is afraid of losing control, he should work on it. Offering his help, he asks Yukito to call him Master. Jingi continues his advice, telling Yukito to be more open and show his feelings because they can handle any mistakes he makes. He playfully taps Yukito on the head, triggering a memory of having an older brother figure in the past.
Maybe I did have someone like an older brother.
Anyway, let's head home.
Yukito decides to follow the advice and express himself, and gives Jingi a dropkick into the water for his actions. So, what did you think of Yukito's journey? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making more of them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, and remember to click on the notification bell. Also be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.